Hey, good afternoon everybody. I'm doing another appetizer today. This one is stuffed mushroom caps, and it's a really uncomplicated recipe, but the result looks really fancy and your guests will never know how easy this was, right? Which is good for you. Okay, so what you're going to need for this is you're going to need a pound of what they call stuffer mushrooms, which is the big cap ones. If you got loose that you can pick them out yourself, do that. I've got the leftovers of my garlic butter. I've only got that much left. I'm going to have to make some more. If you don't have garlic butter, you can use plain butter. That's just fine too. I've got some homemade breadcrumbs I just made the other day from the leftovers of my croutons. And I've got some coarse shred Parmesan. Now you do want to rinse these out of the package, but what you don't want to do is get the inside of the cap soaked. So make sure that you have them facing this way and just run them under the water briefly. Once those have been rinsed, snap out the stems and just cut off just the end that's got dirt or is tough, and just leave those to the side. So once all the caps have been separated there, very finely chop the stems. I generally do them in slices like this first. Sort of like matchsticks. And then just roughly chop them. They're just going to cook down anyways. It's just faster if they're fine to start off with. So melt a couple of tablespoons of garlic butter over medium heat. Once the garlic butter is nearly melted, add the mushrooms right away because you don't want the butter to brown. Then saute that gently over medium heat until the water comes out of the mushrooms. The mushrooms are just about done. As you can see from this nice close-up here, the water has come out and they're frying in the butter. And they're starting to get a little golden, but they haven't turned brown yet. So this is how you want it, because you got to remember these are going to be baking in the oven after. So you don't want to overcook them at this stage. So for the size of the mushrooms I've got, there's 12 caps there. I figure about a quarter cup each of the breadcrumbs and the cheese with the remaining mushrooms should work. So I'm just going to measure that out. And if you don't have quite enough, you can always top it up with a little more of each. I'm using the coarse shred here because it gives a better melt than the fine one. So I just mix that up a little bit to start off with. So get the sauteed mushrooms and add the contents of the pan to your bowl. Mix that all together. Now if that looks a little dry, and this is optional, you don't have to do it. If you want it a bit tangy, you can just add a little bit of lemon juice to wet it up. So I've got a little bit of lemon juice here. What I'll do is I'll just add it a spoon at a time. If you don't like lemon or don't want to use it and it's dry, you could use a little olive oil if you didn't have the garlic butter. Nice part about this dish is you can prepare it ahead of time and just pop the caps back in the fridge until you're ready to cook them. Now you can fill these with just a teaspoon, but I happen to have my trusty dumpling spoon that I use for Chinese cooking. And so just grab a cap and start filling. What I do is I don't put too much in each one to start off with, because you can top them up after when you're done, just to make sure that you have enough filling to go around for all of them. So that's after the first spoon for each of them. There is just a little bit left, so I'm going to divvy that up among the few that seem to be lacking there. So there we go. And there's the bowl. It's all in there. They're all pretty well even. So what I'm going to do is just pop that in the fridge for now until they're ready to bake later. I have the oven preheated to 375, and I've got the mushrooms off the plate into a baking dish here, and I'm going to cook these for 20 minutes. So there are the stuffed mushrooms fresh out of the oven. These are good for appetizers, hot, or as a side dish with any meal. So I hope you try these, and thanks for watching.